What's going on, everybody? Brian Mann here, Hands-On Auto Training. Might have an interesting one for you today. We got 3 computers for this 1999 Ford Ranger. Guys, these computers are supposed to come pre-programmed, and all that you have to do is the security learn, which is a parameter reset. This vehicle should have a standalone PATS module, to the best of my knowledge. I'm not 100% sure about that. We're going to dive in here and take a look together. It's been a while since I took you all on YouTube for a programming job. I'm trying to post more of those programming videos up on the membership site, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But let's take a look what we have. Let's go ahead and get started with the programming on this. We're going to do this as if it was a brand new PCM, I think is the way I want to handle it. So let's go ahead to our Ford folder. I'm going to be using Ford IDS on this. Back in the day, we used to call it Ford Module Programming if you're using a JBox. Nowadays, it's FJDS. So we're going to take a look and see what IDS does here. But if you have FJDS, you should be able to do this procedure. Parameter reset and programming shouldn't be a problem on this vehicle. But let's take a look at what happens here. We're going to go ahead and start a new session. We're going to X out of this because this is not a transit. I'm going to go ahead and hit delete session here. And we're going to start a new session. All other and next. In this instance, we will be using our Ford VCM2. As you see, it's not hooked up because, well, I got phone calls and setting up all the equipment. I got distracted. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the USB. Should see it pop up on the screen here. Let's see here. Will it pop up? All right, our tool popped up. We're going to go ahead and select on that and hit the tick down here. And also I'm going to turn the key to the run position. Guys, as always, I do have my battery maintainer down there. We are maintaining the battery voltage, always an important thing to do. And check this out. This is interesting. Is this FFV or other? I'm assuming FFV. Let me just click on this one time. Sometimes when you click on them, they'll populate a bar down here. I'm assuming that means, is this a flexible fuel vehicle? I don't think it is. I'm going to click on other. So here we go, 1999 California emissions and Ford Ranger with 3-liter. Now the shop on this vehicle did go ahead and try to do the PATS learn or parameter reset with their snap-on tool. It kept on airing out. I'm not sure what the problem was there. These are supposed to be pre-programmed, but we're going to take one and just do it from the top so we know we got the right stuff in there. So here we go, 1999. I don't even think these carry the VIN in them, so I'm going to go to the toolbox. We're going to go to Module Programming, click on the check mark, go to PMI of the PCM. PMI stands for Programmable Module Installation, and there we go. Let's see what happens here. Can't find the calibration. We got to go on the network. Just so you guys know, I do have my internet up and running. Too many times I'm forgetting to do that too. Forget to plug in the scan tool and forget the internet. Nothing will get done around here. All right, set the ignition off. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. The key is in off position. And we'll go ahead and hit our check mark, install a new module. So we're going to go ahead and get the new module in here. We're going to use, they've got these things numbered 1 through 3. We're going to use number 1, because I guess this vehicle's been a problem. So we're going to go ahead and just zip this out real quick and put the new one in. New used, I would say, but it's supposed to be remanufactured. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I think it's spray painted or something. And just so you guys know, I don't know if you can see it on camera. Hopefully you can. This has been kind of over tightened and cracked, but it's good enough for now. And our new module is in. Let's go ahead and hit the check mark. And we'll go ahead and hit the check mark again. And set the ignition on. Key is on. What do you think? They're going to make us do it one more time? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So I click the check mark. We're going to have to click it one more time. That's common. No response from the PCM. Possible causes: FEPS open circuit, ignition switch in position 0. Do you wish to try again? I'm going to hit yes and set the ignition off. The FEPS circuit is the flash EEPROM or flash erasable program circuit, just for programming on these Fords. It is possible our DLC's whooped on. I've had a lot of these older Fords have all kinds of issues at the DLC. Turn the key back to the run position. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the check mark. And you see nothing's happening, so I'm going to hit the check mark again. Okay, do I want to try again? Right now I don't. PCM programming aborted. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at our DLC. I want to take a look here, maybe with you guys, see if we see some spread terminals, if this will focus. These terminals don't look terrible from my view, but we do have to check out a few things here. I'm going to do a pin fit test real quick. Guys, having an assortment of different terminals can be very helpful. Let me see if we can get that better. This is just from an AES Wave test lead kit. I'm just going to go in here and try to fill each one of these and make sure we got good pin fitment, you know, making sure I have the same tightness across all the pins, because this has been a problem on these older Fords sometimes for me. Now you guys probably can't see, but everything's feeling good so far. It feels good. Feels good. All of them feel okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in, and I'm going to say let's try to restart a session of Ford IDS. So we see our PCM programming's aborted. I'm going to click on the check mark here, set the ignition off. The ignition is off. And I'm going to go to start a new session. We're going to go ahead here, and I'm going to hit delete session. And we're going to see if by chance, if they actually have the right software in here. Maybe it just needs a security learn and the snap-on tool wouldn't do it. So I'm going to click on start new session, all other. And my key's off. I got to turn my key back on. Do that right quick. There you go, keys on. As you see, it zipped across once we had the communication back. So it looks like they got the right stuff. This is the new used computer or reman computer installed. I'm going to hit the yes button. And at this point, let's see if we can do a parameter reset. We're going to go to the toolbox. Maybe we should do a self-test first. Guys, I like doing self-tests, all CMDTCs. The reason this computer was replaced, because I guess it breaks up at 3,500 RPM or so. Not sure what's going on there. They were trying different computers, or they wanted to get a computer. They've tried 3 computers. Can't get them programmed as far as security. So let's just take a look what's going on. Battery voltage out of range. VSS circuit. Gem. There's our PATS. PATS module saying the computer's wrong. PCM saying the theft detected. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and go to our toolbox up here, red toolbox. We'll go to do our security learn. That's body security PATS functions. Hit the check mark. So the keys are stored in the PATS module, and minimum keys required is 2. I only have 1 key here. Let me abort this and go back. I want to take a look within the data logger. That's how you look at data on a Ford data logger. I want to take a look at our PATS module or security. Go to security. I want to see how many keys are programmed, because they only have 1 key present. We might have to cut a key. I just want to know this ahead of time in case somebody else has deleted keys. Take a look at all this data, hit the check mark, and N key code. Number of keys stored is 5. So it has 5 keys learned to it. You must have 2. So that's awesome. I'm happy about that. We're going to go back to that toolbox and do our security learn here. That's under body, security, PATS functions, and hit the check mark. Hit the check mark. And guys, I will see you in 10 minutes. As this is going through its program, I want to show you guys real quick. They have this paperwork says warning, you know, don't erase the keys, do a parameter reset only. So that's nice of the remanufacturer to give you a little bit of information there. But that's what the customer was trying to do with the snap-on tool, kept on airing out. So we'll continue on with this and see how we go here. So guys, as this thing is programming, I'm trying to think about that FEP circuit. I've had a lot of older Fords, like I said, a DLC will get whooped on and it doesn't hold tight. That doesn't seem to be the problem here. I'm not sure what else is going on. Before I go diving into a big diagnostic and start messing around with all that, trying to figure out why I can't get it programmed, if we can get it to run on this computer, I think the customer will be satisfied, and then we can move along our way and then also see if it breaks up. I think they'd say it even break up in park at 3,500 RPM. I'm not sure what else is going on there, but just want to make you aware of that. I would like to know why that FEP circuit is causing an issue, but I don't need to know. Sometimes in a mobile business, and even when you're working in a shop, you don't have to know everything. If we have to cross that bridge, we will. All right, I just spoke with the shop owner, or the manager, technician owner, and he said that as the parameter reset countdown timer, or the 600-second PATS timeout, will get to the end, it would air out. So we're going to see what we have right here, see what happens. We're just about to the end. And let's see. I think right here is when he said it would air out. So it's been successful. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and hit the check mark. Security access is granted. That's great. Check. And parameter reset. That's what we want to do. And check. So we're going to hit the yes button. It has been successful, and keep live memory has been reset. So that's great. So we're back in business here. And which module have we replaced? Replaced the PCM. Key code erase is not necessary. Turn ignition to the 0 position, disconnect the DLC, and wait 10 seconds. So cycle the key 3 times. Start the engine. So we're going to go ahead and turn our key to the off position. As you see, just so you know, we do have a check engine light. That's always a good sign there. Turn that off. Disconnect the DLC and wait 10 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000. You get the idea. And then cycle the key 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. Turn it back on. I do have a theft light on down there. It went out. And we've got a runner. So we've got this thing running. Let's see if it breaks up at 3,000 RPM. Want to first take a look underneath the hood, make sure we're clear. Nothing's going to fall around, get banged up or anything. Don't want to have any issues. I'm going to go ahead and turn my maintainer off as well. So that's not going. That's off. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and plug back in our scan tool. Plug that in. Let this warm up for a second. And I'm going to go back to our scan tool and go ahead and hit the check mark. Let's take a look at our diagnostic trouble codes. We're going to refresh this list, and then we'll go ahead and probably end up clearing them out. So we've got all these codes. It's nice, best practice, I would say. Not always necessary, but if you turn the key on, engine off, many times you'll have a better result of clearing your DTCs. So we're going to hit the erase button over here. And you check. As you see here, we have no DTCs at this time, so we're going to go ahead and start this thing up one more time here. Put the thing on the floor. Let's go ahead and see how it runs here. So I'm getting over 3,500. Definitely can rev it up. That's good. Boy, that's a foggy picture. Terrible. Why won't that focus? There it is. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this all up, and the customer's going to take it for a ride right quick. Guys, if you like this type of content, please do hit the thumbs up button, hit the notification bell, subscribe. You know what to do, because that all helps me. And if you don't like it, well, I don't want to waste my time making content that people don't want to watch. So we're going to take this for a ride and see what happens. Battery's getting a bit weak on this thing. Uh-oh. I got no forward. I got reverse. Oh, there it goes. Shifter's a little sloppy. All right, guys, that was a short trip. Let's get the IDS plugged in. Starting to drive out the driveway, stomping on it, getting around 4,000 RPM, it falls on its face. So, want to see what codes we have here. I'm curious because I'm thinking if we had a situation like before with the gem module setting a code, I think for a speed sensor, let's go ahead and refresh our code, see if any codes come back. I'm thinking maybe if this thing doesn't realize it's in drive or if it doesn't see vehicle speed, will it cause an issue? So might turn into a little bit of a diagnostics. We got a 1767 battery voltage out of range for the ABS module. That's interesting. Let's do a self-test of the, let's go to see if we can do a self-test of the gem. I just want to check this real quick. Go ahead and hit the check mark. All right, so we do have a 1322 on-demand driver's door switch, short to ground. Well, guys, the driver's door is open, so I'm not worried about that. Let's take a look back over here. Let's do a self-test of the engine control module, the PCM. Key on, engine running is what I want. It may not be up to temperature yet. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, coolant gauge is in the middle. The fuel gauge is on empty here. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'll go ahead and hit this button here and see what happens. Should hear the RPM kick up, and it's doing its thing as it goes to town here. Press and release the brake pedal, turn the steering wheel half a turn, all that, right? So on, off, hit the overdrive button. EGR is flowing on this thing, I can hear that, boy. On the self-test, it will go ahead and, you know, command a bunch of different things, and I do believe it hit the EGR, and it was EGR and had some exhaust gas flowing there. Let's see, what would make this thing break up at higher speeds? It's got new plugs, new coils, new computer, new, well, I shouldn't say new, but you know, replacement. Lots of replacement parts on this thing. I'm not sure what's going on here. Curious to see if we get any code setting. And what would cause this? I'm thinking, are we starving for fuel? What's the fuel trims look like is kind of what I'm thinking at higher RPM. Could it be dropping off fuel pressure? I don't know if this one, let's see, 1780, what's that? I hit that button, it didn't work. Overdrive button didn't happen. We can go back here, take a look on Identifix. Why not? Identifix is a nice resource when you have some problems. The older the vehicle, the better the information, it seems like. So we're going to get this going here. So 3.0. Let's just roll with that, see what we get. I'm looking for something at higher RPM, but don't really see much. All right, let's take a look at, oh wait, check this out. Bad bucking and jerking, hard acceleration around 3,500, acts like it's hit a rev limiter, there are no codes. Camshaft synchronizer assembly, Check this out, Identifix. Sometimes you find some good stuff that are talking about the camshaft synchronizer. Let's go ahead and take ourselves a look-see and see if that's been replaced. I know they said they replaced a lot of stuff on this, but maybe they didn't replace that. Identifix is saying basically unplug it and then take it for a road test. Oh man, crash bar's hurting. Hands hurt from that surgery and stuff. All right. So I don't recall off the top of my head, guys, where the cam sensor is on this thing. I mean, I've done these. You got a little tool to hold it in place and all that. Let me get my flashlight out. I'm afraid to go on this crash bar. I might pull the whole little thing off there. This cam synchro might be in the back. Let's go ahead and see if we can locate that. I like this because we do have a good old-fashioned fuel port. And it looks like it does have a new synchronizer, cam synchronizer on here. I can't get at it too well. So that guy lives on the back of the block here. Can hardly see it. I'm going to reach down there and unplug it. See what happens. That was a bear to unplug. Take a look. What's going on there? All right, with that unplugged, we can see by chance if it'll do this thing, because this thing doesn't really have a rev limiter like a lot of vehicles do. This thing will rev up pretty high, but it was breaking up over 5,000 RPM, 4,500 RPM or so. So let's see if that's one rev. I did it twice before and it messed up. So that's doing pretty good. Feels like it gets sluggish at the end as I get really high. Like maybe a restricted exhaust or something. And I'm not even looking at scan data yet. Let's take a look at that. We'll look at our scan data, powertrain, engine. And we'll click on that. And let's see what we have here. I'm kind of interested in a few things here. We got we should have a calculated barometric pressure. That should be, I don't know, at the altitude I'm at, it should be maybe 152 hertz, give or take. Maybe just a little bit less because we are a little bit higher up. And then we've got to have, let's see what we got here. Let's just take a peek. Okay, so baro is 149. That's a little off. I got to find the actual altitude. I think we are higher up here. This is a 4-liter idling at what RPM are we at here? Scroll down, my fingers are numb. I can't quite use them for a scroll wheel. Where's our RPM? RPM's about 900 RPM. We do have some switching of our O2 sensors. Let's see what our fuel trims are doing. Long term. Taken away, guys. Look at that. Taken away. -20. Where's our short terms at? Short-term fuel trim's right about on the money, so long-term adjusted pretty quick. So we're taking away fuel. What do you think that means? I think we might have something else going on here. And of course the phone rings. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and rev this thing up, see what happens. Revved up nice that time. Sometimes it revs up real nice, sometimes it doesn't. I haven't had this stumble like we had yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the scan tool and just take it for a short drive. All right, guys, so with a Ranger, we got the camshaft sensor disconnected. It doesn't break up anymore, so that apparently was a problem. Now, that cam sensor was replaced before, so at this point, I think they got something going on with the synchronizer probably on that. Also, I think this vehicle probably has another issue. Guys, the fuel trims were, backing way off. So we've either got a restriction in our exhaust, we've got maybe a mass airflow sensor that's overreading, so that if it has more air, it would dump more fuel, which would make the fuel trims have to go negative to get this thing running properly by the O2 sensors. What else could we have? Maybe some other sort of restriction in airflow, but at this point, they don't want to go any further, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.